So today was the long awaited Nintendo Direct for Mario Kart World, and in this Nintendo Direct we saw a ton of new things coming to Mario Kart World in the form of the open world, new tracks, new characters, new power-ups, and all that stuff that you would expect from a new Mario Kart game. We have the new animations, we have the new graphics, we have the new grinding, and all this other things that make Mario Kart World a true sequel to the current Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. And let me remind you that that actually came out on the Wii U, and so that game came out like a decade ago. So this is a pretty big deal because this is the first Mario Kart that we're getting in a very long time. But the number one thing that I'm still seeing people talk about on YouTube is the price of the game. Guys, it's been 2 weeks already and we're still talking about the price of Mario Kart World. Now let me remind you that when Mario Kart World was first revealed during the Switch 2 Direct, there were rumors going around that the game would be $90, and I told you in my video where I covered the price of the Switch 2 that that was actually not true, and as it turns out I was right. It is an $80 game. It is $50 if it's bundled with the system at launch. Now that launch version will be a exclusive limited time thing. It's only going to be available until the fall while supplies last. And so if you want to get Mario Kart World at a discount and you don't mind it being digital only, then you only pay $50 for Mario Kart World if you're buying the console today or when it comes out, which is great. That's good news. That means for me, and maybe for many of you, I'm going to be paying less for Mario Kart World than I did for Mario Kart 8. Maybe that's just the facts. I don't know. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was $60 when it came out, and here we are. I'm going to get Mario Kart World for $50 if I buy it with the console. So I'm saving money on this version of Mario Kart. I don't know what you guys are doing, but even though the $90 price point rumor was just that, a rumor, people have now shifted their fury to $80. Not now 90 was fury. Now 80 is still outrage. We're still outraged at 80. And so I'm seeing all of these content creators on YouTube talking about like, okay, now that the Direct is here, they didn't show us anything that proves it deserves to be $80. It's like, guys, you are 30-year-old men, okay? And it's weird that gamers are just learning about inflation, right? Like gamers are just now in April of 2025. The $8 eggs 2 months ago, that wasn't what did it. Okay, I know there was a bird flu and stuff like that. I'm using that as a hyperbolic example, but my point is a Starbucks brown sugar oat milk shake and espresso is $8. Okay, that's a coffee. It's an $8 coffee. Now Starbucks has always been expensive, but $8 is a lot. Okay, so my point is the price of everything is going up, and so I'm making this video to help all these content creators that are just like so lost. They're confused. They don't understand, like, bro, oh, why is it $80? Okay, I'm gonna help you guys figure this out. Okay, there are two reasons why Mario Kart World is $80, and we're gonna use a very easy to understand principle called Occam's razor. In philosophy, Occam's razor is the problem-solving principle that recommends searching for explanations constructed with the smallest possible set of elements. Now before we jump into these two reasons, I know that people are questioning about DLC and live service support and all that other stuff, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But first, let me explain why, because I know you guys are like, this is driving you crazy. Why is the game $80? Ugh! Two reasons. First of all, the price of everything is higher now. I don't know if you've been to the store lately. I don't know if you've ordered anything online lately. I don't know if you've looked at any of your bills, your credit card statements. I don't know if you looked at around, like if you just looked around, like the price of everything, it's pretty high, so everywhere and in all countries, right? Like inflation is not just the United States thing. There's inflation in every country, including Japan. Okay, so I don't know, but I actually don't know about every country. Let me just be, hang on. Okay, let me be reasonable here. I don't know about every country, but last time I checked out, most countries had some level of inflation since COVID. Okay, that's understandable, reasonable. You guys know that, right? Okay, so there's no reason to expect games to have magically dodged that bullet, right? Like, why would games not go up in price, right? Like, I don't understand why are games like the one thing that aren't allowed to go up in price, right? And like I said this in my video where I talked about the Switch 2 pricing, I don't want prices to go up, right? I don't want to, but the point is, like, everything is going up, okay? And it's not exclusive to Nintendo, is what I'm trying to say. So reason one is really straightforward, and this is why we're using Occam's razor. If the price of every other good in the world is going up at the same time, it's logical to assume that perhaps the price of games will go up because the price of making that game goes up, because the cost of inputs to make that game go up. You understand? Like, do you see how there's like it's like a chain of reaction, how like because all the inputs to the game go up and so the cost of the game goes up, so they pass it on to the consumer, and so that's how that works, right? Like, we figure that out. Okay, so that's reason number one. Pretty self-explanatory. Price of everything is higher, so the price of games is higher. It's not a magical, like, not a magical subset of the economy that is excluded from like global trade and stuff. Okay, reason number two that the game is $80 is because somebody at Nintendo probably did the math and said, you know what, most customers who would buy the game for 70 would also buy the game for 80. Let's just be, hey, I know you're mad, but let's be real here. Okay, let's be real. If you were gonna spend 70 on Mario Kart, which, let's be honest, there was no way the game was gonna be 60, right? We already saw Tears of the Kingdom be 70, and that's on the regular Switch, so we know that 70 was minimum the baseline, right? We knew that going in. Everyone knew that. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. Okay, so the debate is, should the game be 70 or 80, right? And somebody at Nintendo probably looked at the numbers and said, well, you know, based on our consumer base, like, it's probable that if you were gonna spend 70 on Mario Kart, you'll probably spend 80 on it too, and you might be less happy about it, but you're still gonna spend that money, right? It's the ugly truth. It's the ugly truth. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. Okay, that $10 difference is only enough to turn off some people, and those people are the ones maybe watching this video and like you're very emotionally invested in this and you're very angry at Nintendo, and so maybe you are like the 5% of people that actually won't buy Mario Kart now that it's $10 higher than expected. Maybe that's true, but I'm here to tell you guys that a majority of the people buying Mario Kart World are in their 30s. It's either for them because they remember playing it on the GameCube, or it's because it's for their kids this is the first time they're getting to play Mario Kart, and of course they're gonna buy it for their kid because their kid wants it, right? Okay, that $10 difference is not limiting almost anybody in the market, right? So why would they charge 70 when they know they can charge 80 and have like a 95% overlap in the customer base, right? And not even to mention that a lot of you guys are just gonna get it with the Switch too, because it's a $50 plus bundle, right? It's an extra $50, you get the game, so that kind of offsets the difference there, right? A lot of customers are getting for 50, the rest of them are getting it for 80, and you do the math and maybe it averages out to 70, right? Like, I mean, like, right, are we that's pretty normal. I think that's reasonable. So then we have to talk about live service support and DLC, okay? Because I know a lot of people were anxiously awaiting the direct and thinking, okay, there's got to be something, they're gonna announce something, and this is going to be the secret sauce, and this is why the game is $80, right? That is what people were thinking would happen at the direct today, and that didn't happen. Now, that's not to say that it won't happen, right? I think some people were expecting like, hey, the game's going to be $80, but the first DLC, whenever that comes out, that's going to come out for free, right? You're going to get it just for free. You already paid for it. It's built in, right? And a lot of people were expecting that to happen. They didn't say that, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. And what I suspect Nintendo is doing is they're reserving their ammo. Okay, they're going to release the game at 80 and they're going to see how the sales are. If the sales are horrible, right? If the internet backlash is to be believed, which most of the time it is not to be believed, right? For example, Hogwarts Legacy, people freaked out about that on Twitter. Turns out the game was great. Nobody in the real world actually cared about anything people were talking about on Twitter. It didn't matter in the slightest, even a little bit, even to one regular person, right? No one gave a shit about that at all for a second in the real world. It was exclusively a battle cry on Twitter. Everyone knows that's the case because the game sold super well. It was well received. It's on multiple consoles now. Okay, so we know that internet backlash is oftentimes hyperbolic and typically doesn't reflect the actual normal consumer for the product, right? Everyone's freaking out about $80, but when push comes to shove, if you buy it and if I buy it and everyone buys it, then that's all that matters, right? That is the actual data Nintendo is looking at. They're not looking at your tweets. No one cares about what you tweet. Okay, it doesn't matter what you posting on Blue Sky. No one's listening to that. What matters is what you do with your money. Okay, and if most people buy the game at $80 and that's it, everyone's cool, everyone's happy, the game's great, everyone moves on, right? And everyone forgets about the Twitter meltdown over $80 games. Okay, then that's it, we're done, right? However, if the Twitter outrage and the Blue Sky YouTube outrage is to be believed, let's say it's real, right? Let's say there's actually a lot of people who are mad about the game being $80. That's when Nintendo can reveal that the upcoming DLC is going to be free for all the people that already bought the game, right? And then boom, bada bing, bada boom, all of a sudden everyone who already begrudgingly bought the game is now happy because they're getting the first DLC for free. Everyone else who didn't buy the game now at least knows, okay, well, if I pay the the 80 bucks, I'll get the first DLC for free. At least that's a little bit more justified, right? So my point is that why would they commit to giving people the DLC for free when they don't even know if people are actually mad, right? And I know it's been trending on Twitter. I don't care about that. That does literally, I cannot stress this enough. It does not matter. Most people who play Nintendo games do not go on Twitter. Okay. They have full-time jobs or their children who are in school. There's no, that overlap is a very, I know that if you're chronically online, you're like really convinced that like the internet is real life, and it's not. Okay. So I know that it feels like it's a really big deal, like, oh my God, but it's probably not. Now, again, if it is, then Nintendo can commit to giving away DLC for free. You understand where I'm coming from here, right? Like it would make sense from a business perspective. Don't show your hand, right? If you reveal it's 80, there's Twitter backlash, but everyone buys it. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know, in a year or two, you could maybe sell them at $15 DLC, or maybe you bundle the DLC with Nintendo Online and now you're getting more subscriptions for that, which is great, right? That's kind of what I'm thinking Nintendo's strategy is going to be here, right? If it's true that people are actually mad and they do actually put their money where their mouth is, which is not often the case with the consumer, because the consumer crumbles under the smallest amount of pressure, then they will come forward and say, okay, we like, this is an expensive game. Everyone who already bought it, everyone who buys it gets the first DLC for free. And then we meet somewhere in the middle and everyone's happy about that. And that's pretty much what happened with, I think the 3DS, right? The 3DS came out, I think it was $250 at launch, right? And then they dropped the price to like $170 pretty soon after that. And I'm pretty sure if you did already buy a 3DS, you got like a choice of a handful of games for free. Yeah, this article was from August 3rd, 2011, right? And it says right here, the company has said people who have purchased a 3DS prior to the price drop and log into the 3DS eShop before August 12th will receive 20 free games as part of its ambassador program. So basically what they're saying here is that, you know, you spent $70 more on the console than we are charging for now. So we're going to compensate you for that by giving you a bunch of free games. So that way, at least you can say, okay, I spent $70 extra, but I got 20 games that other people have to pay for, right? And so that's kind of where you meet in the middle. In the same vein as that, I think it's reasonable to assume that Mario Kart World could do the same thing. They'll just release at 80, and if only a few people buy it at 80, then maybe they lower the price of the game, or they bundle in the DLC for those people that did pay for it at 80, right? It makes sense. That's what would make the most amount of sense from a business perspective. So hopefully this video kind of clears it up for everyone on YouTube. I'm actually shocked at how many people I'm seeing post about the price of Mario Kart World. It's been 2 weeks. Everyone here is in their 30s. Like, how am I the only adult in the room? This is crazy, right? Like, do you guys not pay for your own groceries? Like, do you not see the price of everything going up? And again, I know I've been very like harsh in this video, and I've been very blunt in this video, and I want to be very clear. I wish games were $60 again. Okay, I do, obviously, right? Why would I want to spend more? I don't want to spend more, but like, it blows my mind that all these adults are like wandering around, why are the prices going up? Why are the prices going up? Have you looked at the news once in the last 2 years? Hello, is this the first really Mario Kart World is the first time that you're realizing prices are going up? Are you serious? So what is the point of this video, right? Let me just wrap this all up together nice and neat for you guys so you understand the actual point, because I know I've been ranting, I've been squealing and having a meltdown this entire video. The point is, I also wish games were cheaper, and I don't want the price of games to go up. But what I'm seeing across social media is everyone is attacking Nintendo for them raising their prices, even though prices for basically all goods in every sector have gone up lately. And they're also attacking Nintendo for standard business practices that are like conventional across every industry. It's supply and demand. If you know you can sell something for 80 and people are going to buy it, then like obviously you would charge 80, right? Like if you wrote a book today and you knew someone would buy it for 40, why would you sell it for 20? It doesn't make sense. And you might think that you're a good person and you would just sell it at a cheaper price because you're just so righteous, and the answer is you're wrong. You would not do that. You wouldn't do that. Like if you're being intellectually honest with yourself, right? Of course you would do that. You would do what's in your best interest. And in the same vein as that, companies do the same thing, right? Now this would be a totally different story if Mario Kart World was like, yeah, we're launching with loot boxes, and there's going to be microtransactions, and there's going to be a battle pass, and there's going to be seasons passes, and there's going to be a premium currency in the form of cart coins, and you can use these to buy, you know, loot boxes for different car parts and what, like that would be different. Okay, I would be way more on the side of the consumer in that scenario. But in this scenario, people are crying about Nintendo raising their price in an environment where prices are going up. That's the logical outcome. And two, they're just doing normal business practices that every other company is doing. And it's like, what, why are we pretending like Nintendo is like, it's worse when Nintendo does it? Why is it worse when Nintendo does it? Because you see them as a kid company, because you fell in love with Nintendo games as a child? Well, great news, they've always been a business. So I know that in your mind you're still viewing Nintendo as a 12-year-old, but like, they've always operated as a business, and it's just ridiculous to assume that they would operate otherwise. And so I don't understand this massive amount of backlash for completely logical outcomes that anyone could see coming for completely valid reasons. It just makes no sense to me, right? So that's the point of this video. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I'm shocked. I'm honestly shocked at the amount of people confused about the price here. So hopefully I helped clear that up for you guys. If you found this video enjoyable, or you hated it or whatever, drop a thumbs up or dislike down below. It's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. While you're down there, consider subscribing to the channel and comment down below your thoughts. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.